Hey everyone, welcome to Dit Dot. My name's Amanda. Today we're going to be making a ginger soy dish, and I'm going to make it with fish and I'm going to make it with tofu because I think that this method and flavor profile will work well with both applications. So this is a dish that I found on a blog that I will link down below and put the name across the top here because I just forgot what it was. I love to find inspiration on the internet and then try these recipes at home myself. And since I actually don't follow recipes, I'll be doing my own adaptations along the way. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that we need to get started with is just make some ginger. So really fresh ginger would be best for this dish because if you could make some nice, pretty ginger like sticks, that's what she had on her recipe. But if you've seen some of my previous videos, I like to keep my ginger frozen, which works beautifully when you're grating it into a sauce. But I'm gonna go ahead and try, and so I've already tried to cut off little ginger chunks. Again, this is frozen, so it's very cold, so I'm using my towel, and I'm just gonna use my knife and kind of, whoops, try to chunk off some pieces of ginger here. You don't want to let this ginger come to room temperature because then it will get kind of mushy. So I'm not 100% sure how this is going to work, but we're going to give it a good try, okay? I think it'll work well enough for my home cook purposes. So I want a good amount of ginger. I mean, the two main flavors of this dish are ginger and soy. So I think this is going to be enough for what I'm gonna do. And so this is gonna go back in the freezer, and next time I need it, just pull it out and grate it into your stir fry sauce or whatnot, and it's so good. So then we're going to lightly fry the ginger in some oil. I'm gonna use coconut oil just because I have this massive one from Costco, and it's kind of getting at the end, and I really just need to use it up. And coconut oil, I think, goes well with ginger and soy flavors, and also it's a really good oil for frying. Mine is very solid right now because I live in the Pacific Northwest and it's still really chilly in the house. Okay, so I'm going to turn my burner onto like a medium low, and probably once the coconut oil starts to melt, I'll put it on low because I don't want to burn the ginger. But then I'll put this ginger in, and so it can get the flavor of this oil. Okay, so right here I have some white fish. If you have the budget for halibut, I think that would be really great, or even cod. This is pollock, which is a pretty cheap fish, I'm gonna admit, but it was in my budget this week. So I've got fish over here, and then I have some tofu sliced here. Now, of course, if you are actually serving vegetarians or vegans, you would not want to cross-contaminate, but that isn't the case here at this house, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay, so I'm going to make a little spice mixture here with just some salt and pepper. And then I want to drive home the ginger flavor a little bit more. So I have some dried ginger, and this is an ingredient that I just started working with recently, and I'm really enjoying it. And some dehydrated garlic too. Okay, I'm gonna swirl this around and kind of just coat my tofu and my fish with this dry seasoning. Being very gentle with it because we don't want the tofu or the fish to flake apart. I'm going to toss this around and get it nice and coated. Then I'm just going to take some plain cornstarch, put it in a bowl, and then we're going to coat each piece of our fish with cornstarch. And then I'm going to lay them out on this plate here to get them all ready for frying. So the fish, and then the same thing with the tofu. I'm just going to lay it gently down in the cornstarch, get it nice and coated, and set it off to the side. There's Watson waiting for me to drop something. Okay, so I've got it on like medium heat actually, and I'm just letting this ginger, oh, I'm kind of cut off here. I'm just letting this ginger fry up in the skillet. That's going to give us a really cool garnish at the end, and it's going to flavor the oil with the ginger. So this is the little bowl that I use to mix up my spices. So I'm just going to use that to pull the ginger out here in a second once it kind of fries up. And I was kind of worried about it being frozen, like I said, but it's looking perfectly fine. So I'm very excited to know that I can use it like this method too from frozen. It's not falling apart or turning mushy. Take it a little bit longer and then we will get to frying our fish. So along with the fish and the tofu, I'm also making some white rice, and I've got some vegetables roasting behind me in my toaster oven, which you could also, do in your regular oven. Did it again, guys. I'm sorry, I wasn't filming. So the ginger got to a nice golden brown, so I pulled it out. And then all I'm doing is laying the fish and the tofu into this coconut infused ginger oil. That's all I'm doing. And don't want to overcrowd the skillet. If you were cooking for a vegan and or a vegetarian, you would not want to cross-contaminate. But since I'm not, I am just putting them in gently. I put in a couple, like a fourth of a cup of soy sauce, a good splash of sesame oil, and then about 2 tablespoons of just white table sugar. And this is going to be the sauce that goes on top. We need to stir it to make sure the sugar gets nice and dissolved. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and flip this first piece of tofu. Oh, nope, it's not golden yet. We're going to wait till it gets nice and golden brown. So I will be back. So I went ahead and flipped them. They're not quite getting as golden brown as I want, but I don't know if that's because I'm rushing the process or if the cornstarch just doesn't brown up as more as flour. I don't know. I'm going to give it a little bit more, and I might rotate them one more time. I'm going to give this a nice stir to try to get the sugar kind of incorporated in, and then taste it and see if I want to add anything else, because I was kind of thinking it might want some rice wine vinegar. No, I like it. Okay, so I can tell this fish is cooked through. I don't want to overcook it, so I'm going to go ahead and just pull it out on a plate that I've got a kitchen towel so I can drain off some of the grease. I don't want these to fall apart. Ooh, hot, 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 hot. I don't fry food very often. Okay, I'm gonna flip this guy. See, it's just not turning brown. Ah, hot, hot, hot. Okay, let me get some more fish in here. I'm gonna leave the tofu because Mama's gonna be the one eating the tofu. I actually like tofu. I also love fish too. So I'm cooking this tofu for you guys to show y'all a different method. But I do like a good tofu, especially fried tofu. I mean, like, how can you go wrong with that? All right, so I'm gonna put the rest of this fish in. Holy cow, it's getting hot. One more piece. Oh, it's kind of getting brown. Let me show you. Just think I need more patience. I'm not a very patient person, but it's definitely getting crispy. I can feel with the edge of my spatula that it's got a crispy texture to it. Hey guys, I'm going rogue. I opened up my refrigerator to pull out some scallions and I saw my lime juice, and I'm actually gonna hit this with a touch of lime because I think it's gonna give it that it needs. All right, I got the tofu out. The fish is almost finished, and we'll be plating and tasting soon. Okay, so I've got it plated up in this beautiful bowl, and this is the tofu one, and then here's the sauce, and I cut up some scallion on top, and then I'm just gonna, this is very strong, so I'm just gonna drizzle some of the sauce over the top, and then we'll give it a taste. Okay, and then I also put some sweet peppers on there. Oh, you hear this crunch? I'm bringing it up to my microphone. I got a really good crunch on that tofu. I'm gonna grab up some of my rice, tofu. That is good. I don't miss the fact that there's, oh, and then, yeah, I put some of these, of the ginger pieces on top too. This is so good. I don't even miss the meat. Probably be easier to eat this at the table, but you know what? I wanted to show y'all what we got here.
My husband and kids both reported that they loved the fish, and I cannot wait to make this again to try it. Also, the tofu was so good that I made variations of it over the next couple of days.
All right, well, I'm gonna go enjoy this. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I like to try new dishes and learn along with y'all. Join me on future videos by hitting the subscribe button, and definitely check out some of my past videos. And thank you so much to everyone who has supported this channel.